Alrighty, gang, welcome back to the Active Self-Protection Podcast. I'm yet again your host, Mike Williver, and I remain your favorite.
Download the ASP Unlimited app for all the content you love from Active Self-Protection and more with no interference from YouTube. No ads, no age gates, exclusive videos, seminars, classes, and more on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, and Android TV. Hit the link in the description or download ASP Unlimited from your app store today.
Former Fed. With me today, a new friend of mine. His name is Jack. Jack is from northern New Jersey. I spent a lot of my summers up in sort of central western New Jersey in a place called Phillipsburg and Stewartsville, so we'll probably talk about that at some point, and I have fond memories of it. He is an attorney and a former dispatcher, and he's married with 3 kids. Jack, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. So, northern New Jersey. I think people think of New Jersey who've never been there as Jersey Shore and Bruce Springsteen, and that's it. That's kind of it. And people who talk with a funny accent. Why New Jersey? I assume you were born and raised there, but why would you stay in New Jersey? What is it about New Jersey that you love? Because I can tell people what I love about New Jersey.
I was born and raised here. I have tried to leave. My wife is the one who convinced me to stay. We actually live within spitting distance of her family. We lost my mother-in-law to breast cancer, tragically, several years ago. And ever since then, the family has wanted to stay together. So we all live within a certain radius of each other, and try as I might to get us out of the People's Republic. Here I am, stuck in tax haven over here.
Yeah, it is. The taxes are preposterous in New York, New Jersey, Maryland, where I'm from originally, also ridiculous amount of taxes. The roads are nice, so I got that going. They got that going for them. But other than that, I love all my family and friends in Maryland, but I would never want to live there again for a number of reasons.
It's tough. It's tough.
My taxes. Yeah. Anyway, so as an attorney, I don't want to give you legal advice. I'm just wondering. As an attorney in a place sort of as left of center as New Jersey, do your fellow attorneys, do many of them share your sort of idea of the Second Amendment and self-defense and that sort of thing? Or is it something they kind of gather in the corner and point at you and mock and laugh? Or what kind of characterize that for me? I'm curious.
No, so as an attorney, I mean, I could probably count on one hand the number of my colleagues who have similar beliefs with respect to the Second Amendment. New Jersey is so far, as you say, left of center that we can't even see the center anymore. We basically fell off the map. And although, the Bruin decision has changed the Second Amendment landscape, we're still litigating it. New Jersey passed a very draconian Bruin response bill, Bruin panic bill. That's still, flopping around in the federal courts. I try to carry every day. I know my colleagues who are like-minded, and I'm fortunate to have some partners in my firm who are like-minded. We try to carry every day, but the list of places that we can't carry makes it extremely frustrating. The lockbox safe that's cabled to the driver's seat in my car gets a lot of use because I'm constantly dumping my gun in there when I get out of the car. It's very frustrating.
So yeah, I assume, I don't know. I mean, I think people watch Law and Order and they assume all attorneys just go to court every day and that's all they do is go to court and do court stuff. And that's really not true for the vast majority of lawyers that I know. But I assume that if you're going into a courthouse in New Jersey, that's a prohibited place, right? I mean, obviously.
It is. And, some jurisdictions that I visit, like Texas, they, some of their courthouses are kind of cool with it. You can walk up to the marshal or the sheriff or whoever's guarding up there and say, hey, I have my firearm with me. Can I, lock it up? Yeah, sure. They have lockers and things that you can stash things in. In New Jersey, I mean, you best not leave the parking garage carrying your firearm because if you get anywhere, within the spitting distance of the entrance, you're going to have a problem.
I get that. In fact, even as a federal agent, an active duty federal agent in San Diego, we couldn't bring our firearms into the federal courthouse for some reason. We could walk right into with our badges and credentials into the state courthouse, but not the federal courthouse for some reason. I never did like that very much because I knew if it was a trial, for example, I'm going to be in the same room with a guy that I'm putting in federal prison for a long time, sometimes for life. And it made me
Right.
uneasy, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. Talk to us about the post Bruin landscape in your neck of the woods, because I think I had a guy from what was it, Long Island, not long ago, but that's a different state, obviously. But in New Jersey, were you able to have a CCW or a carry permit prior to Bruin, or is this something that just came up recently?
No, so Bruin really changed the landscape. New Jersey was situated much like New York, and you had a subjective, justifiable need cause. New York called it good cause. New Jersey was justifiable need. And the joke amongst the Second Amendment bar in New Jersey is that carry licenses were issued posthumously. So you needed, actual documented credible threats against your life that could not be addressed in any other way but to carry a concealed firearm. And the joke was, well, if it rose to that level, you were dead. And
Yeah,
then they put the CCW card on your headstone.
yeah,
And that's really how bad it was. I mean, retired cops and armed, armor car, armed security, and judges and a select few politically connected people received carry permits, and that was it. I think the statistics are there were about 1,000 or a little less license to carry issued in New Jersey pre-Bruin. I think we're approaching 40,000 now post-Bruin.
yeah. That sounds.
And that's after the Bruin response bill and the Attorney General had to sort out the qualifications. In New Jersey, we're one of those states where you have to shoot a qual to become eligible for the license. So once they figured that out, and they figured out that it was wrong to put regular citizens through the cops carry qual, that was the number shot up significantly. I applied early for my CCW, so I actually shot both courses and passed both of them. But yeah, that's the landscape.
And are they doing? I assume they're doing what other states, Colorado, California, New York, have at least attempted to do, which is to pass these really ridiculous prohibited places requirements, like where I refer to this more than once, but the old Chris Rock bit about how dangerous a neighborhood got over the years. You know, when he was a kid, you could run down to the park and run home and run around freely, but then it was like from this block to this block, and then basically at the end of all of it, your mama had you hopping up and down on one square of sidewalk directly in front of your house because there's nowhere else you can go and be safe. I compare that to these prohibited places laws because I think it was New York that had this. I think it's called a vampire law, where you had to actually proactively put a sign in your business saying guns are okay here, which no one's going to do. I mean, other than
Mm-hmm.
very pro 2A places. Is it that way in New Jersey still? Or are they still trying to keep people from going anywhere other than their house, basically, with
Right.
a gun?
So New Jersey, the way that New Jersey gun laws work is carrying a firearm or even possessing a firearm is illegal unless you fall under an exemption. So it's an exemption based law. So the law is written that the possession and carrying of firearms is illegal, but if you fall under one of the enumerated exemptions, then it's okay, it's permitted. The exemptions are very narrow. Pre-Bruin, it was basically you can go to and from the range without any unnecessary deviation. So you can't stop to get gas, you can't stop to get a snack. Don't you dare stop to use the restroom. People were actually arrested for that. You could carry on your own property and your place of business so long as you were an owner of the business. So that covered people who dealt in cash businesses, check cashing, jewelry stores, etc. But that was really it. Post Bruin, the lid got blown off because New Jersey did not have any statutes to cover the licensed carrying of firearms, outside of those narrow exemptions. So for a period of a couple months, we were pretty free to carry in restaurants where alcohol was served, and obviously you couldn't be intoxicated while carrying, but we could carry places, obviously not on federal property, but state property was okay. You couldn't carry into courthouses, but you could carry into a park. And then the state passed the Bruin Response Bill, which was really a cross between a panic attack and a temper tantrum. And they outlawed all those places. Now, that bill went in order to show cause and injunctive relief, went before the District of New Jersey. I believe it went to Judge Bum down in Camden County. And she issued some restraints on that bill so that we could carry into some limited places. And one of those restraints was the Vampire Act, that we didn't, you didn't have to post a sign saying, hey, firearms are welcome here, even though I want to post one of those on my property to, keep the people away. But despite that, we do carry anywhere that we can at every opportunity, because this is new to us. We haven't been able to exercise this right, so we're trying to take advantage of it.